In the heart of the United States, a complex issue unfolds: the support extended to asylum-seeking migrants. These individuals, fleeing persecution and hardships in their home countries, find themselves at the doorstep of the land of opportunity. But their arrival is not without controversy. The U.S. government, in its humanitarian efforts, provides these asylum seekers with necessities like shelter, food, education, and medical assistance. Yet the placement of these migrants, particularly in cities like Chicago, is met with rising tensions. The question of who gets aid and how much is a deeply divisive one. As we peel back the layers of this intricate issue, another grave concern comes into focus. As we delve deeper, a parallel issue surfaces: the plight of homelessness among American citizens. The U.S. government extends a helping hand to those seeking refuge, but what does this support look like? The United States, often heralded as a beacon of hope for the oppressed, provides a myriad of support services to asylum-seeking migrants. This support is multifaceted, encompassing various aspects of life to help these individuals set foot on a path to stability and safety. A significant component of this support is shelter. Recognizing the immediate need for a safe place to stay, the government has established numerous facilities across the country. These centers, such as the ones recently opened in New York City, offer more than just a roof over one's head. They are designed to be a sanctuary, a starting point for migrants to rebuild their lives. In addition to shelter, these migrants are provided with essential resources like food and medical assistance. The aim is to ensure that everyone, regardless of their origin, has access to basic human necessities. This is a stance echoed by migrant support organizations, many of which work closely with the government to facilitate these services. Education is another critical area of focus. The government understands that knowledge and skills are vital for migrants to integrate and contribute to society. Hence, various educational programs are in place, offering everything from language courses to vocational training. To get a better understanding of this support, let's hear from those directly involved. Government officials emphasize that these measures are not just about fulfilling international obligations, but also about upholding the fundamental values of the nation. Migrant support organizations highlight the transformative impact of these services on the lives of migrants. And from the migrants themselves, we hear stories of resilience and gratitude, of new beginnings made possible by this support. While the reality on the ground can be more complex, with challenges and setbacks, these efforts represent a commitment to extend support and solidarity to those in desperate need. While this support provides a lifeline for many, it also raises questions among the general public. As we turn our gaze inward, a stark contrast emerges in the form of American homelessness. It's a pressing issue, one that's been with us for decades, and it's only been exacerbated by the recent economic downturn and the COVID-19 pandemic. The statistics are startling. Hundreds of thousands of our fellow citizens sleep on the streets, in shelters, or in their cars every night. They're from every walk of life. Veterans who've served our country, single parents trying to make ends meet, young people fleeing domestic abuse, and the elderly who find themselves unable to keep up with the cost of living. What's more, many of these individuals grapple with chronic health concerns, mental illness, or substance abuse. They struggle to access the basic necessities of life: food, shelter, healthcare, and education, the very same provisions provided to asylum seekers. We've spoken to several homeless individuals who've shared their stories. They talk of feeling forgotten, of slipping through the cracks in our social safety net. They speak of difficulties in accessing consistent medical care, the challenges of finding work without a fixed address, and the stigma that comes with being homeless. Social workers and experts on homelessness echo these sentiments. They point to a system that is often inflexible and difficult to navigate, a system that can seem more interested in temporary solutions than addressing the root causes of homelessness. Yet, amid these challenges, there's resilience and a desire for change. The homeless individuals we've spoken with aren't looking for handouts. They're looking for opportunities, for the chance to rebuild their lives and to contribute to their communities. But change doesn't happen in a vacuum. It requires understanding, compassion, and action from all of us, from government officials to everyday citizens. It's a collective responsibility, one that we must take seriously if we're to address the issue of homelessness effectively. The plight of the homeless in America remains a persistent challenge, even as support for migrants continues. The question we must ask ourselves is this: how can we ensure that everyone within our borders, be they citizens, migrants, or asylum seekers, has access to the support they need? It's a complex issue, one that requires thought, dialogue, and action, and it's a conversation that we as a nation need to have. In cities like Chicago, the placement of migrants has stirred tensions, as communities grapple with the implications. The Windy City's residents hold diverse views on this complex issue, reflecting a tapestry of perspectives that span the spectrum of support and opposition. On one side, there are those who welcome these new arrivals, seeing in them a reflection of their own ancestors' journeys to America. These individuals often emphasize the shared humanity that unites us all, regardless of our origins. They argue that providing support to these migrants is not just a legal obligation but a moral one, rooted in the core values of empathy, compassion, and respect for human dignity. Conversely, there are those who voice concerns about the placement of migrants. Some fear that resources allocated to support migrants might detract from services for existing residents, while others worry about potential increases in criminal activity. These concerns often stem from the perceived strain on local resources, public safety, and cultural cohesion. And then, there are those who occupy the middle ground. These individuals neither outright reject nor fully embrace the placement of migrants. Instead, they call for a balanced approach that respects the rights of migrants while also addressing the needs of existing residents. They argue for dialogue, understanding, and compromise as the best path forward. The cultural integration of migrants is another contentious issue. While some see the infusion of new cultures as enriching the city's social fabric, others worry about the potential erosion of established local traditions and norms. This tension underscores the broader challenge of fostering unity and diversity, a challenge that is as old as America itself. These tensions reflect the broader debate on the balance between humanitarian support and addressing domestic challenges. It's a delicate balance, to be sure, and one that requires thoughtful, informed discussion. As we navigate this complex issue, it's crucial to remember that at the heart of it all are people. People with hopes, dreams, and the basic human desire for a better life. The reactions of communities to asylum seekers is a reflection of wider societal attitudes and beliefs. As we delve deeper into the debate, we find a rich tapestry of views, each colored by personal experiences, ethical values, and social norms. Community leaders often find themselves walking a tightrope, balancing the needs of their constituents with the moral obligation to extend help to the vulnerable. Some sociologists argue that the pushback against migrants is rooted in fear of the unknown, amplified by misconceptions and stereotypes. They emphasize the need for open dialogues and education to foster understanding and acceptance. On the other hand, ethicists question the ethics of prioritizing the needs of one group over another, particularly when resources are stretched thin. They invite us to reflect on our shared humanity and the principles of fairness and justice that underpin our society. However, it's essential to remember that these protests are not simply about resources or cultural differences. They signal deeper societal issues that need to be addressed: inequality, lack of social cohesion, and the need for comprehensive immigration reforms. The debate on community reactions to migrants reveals deep-seated issues that extend beyond the immediate crisis. To address homelessness in America, one must delve into its root causes. It's a complex issue, woven into the fabric of society and its challenges. Drug use, unemployment, and mental health challenges are some of the most prominent factors contributing to the homelessness crisis. Let's first consider drug use and substance abuse. These are often both a cause and a consequence of homelessness. Many individuals turn to substances as a coping mechanism for the harsh realities of living without a home, creating a vicious cycle that's difficult to break. Then there's unemployment. The lack of a steady income can lead to a loss of housing, and the stigma around homelessness can make finding a job even more challenging. It's a precarious situation that leaves many stuck in a cycle of poverty. Mental health challenges also play a significant role. Severe mental illnesses can disrupt a person's ability to carry out essential aspects of daily life such as self-care, household management, and relationships. Without the necessary support, these individuals may find themselves without a home. As we explore these root causes, we must also discuss the responsibilities of the government and society. The government can enact policies to provide affordable housing, job training, and comprehensive mental health services. Society, on the other hand, can play a role by breaking down stigmas and fostering an environment of understanding and support. Addressing homelessness requires a comprehensive approach that tackles these root causes head-on. It's a challenge that calls for compassion, understanding, and above all, action. In the face of these complex issues, it's crucial to pause and reflect. We've explored the support provided to asylum-seeking migrants, contrasted it with the struggles of homelessness in America, and examined the ensuing tensions within communities. We've also considered the root causes of homelessness and the responsibilities we hold as a society to address it. As we navigate these issues, we must ask ourselves, how can we balance humanitarian support with addressing domestic challenges? What role can each of us play in our communities to help address these issues?